Welcome to Fallout 76, this is Jim. In this video we're going to take a look at completing daily challenges for today, Sunday, April 27th, 2025. Let's take a look at it and see what we got for today. Alright, we get some good ones here. I have many videos on my channel that'll help you guys out with different ideas, different locations, easy areas, hard areas out there if you're bringing a new player to the game. You're a returning player, even if you're an experienced player, this particular daily weekly challenge is giving you a hard time or trouble. I'm sure you'll find a video on my channel that'll help you. Try to keep my videos as updated as I possibly can. Of course, you guys are awesome. The great comments and tips are greatly appreciated. If you do wonder why I have a little more score than you, take a look at the top right hand corner of the screen. I have a 25% boost. Of course, I claimed that right off the current Season 20 Season Pass on 3 pages. A 5%, 10%, additional 10%. You can claim that by being a Fallout First member or by paying the 1,500 atoms for the Season Pass. Alright, we're going to take a look at this one here first. It's going to take us a little bit of time. Assume a vintage alcoholic beverage one. Alright, so the alcoholic beverage we drink in this case has to have the word vintage in it. Alright, so let's take a look at my little grocery bag here just to kind of give you a couple examples. Let's go all the way to the bottom here. I have a lot of stuff on me, as you guys know. So as you can see here, we have vintage Mire Moonshine is vintage Nukashai. Now, if you're a person who's been around for a while, usually when we have special events where we open up the Mole Miner Treasure Hunter pails, we open up festive gifts, and you're a little bit of a hoarder like myself, because we're all hoarders inside, you will save these vintage alcoholic beverages just for these particular daily weekly challenges. Now, I realize not everyone does that, but I know it's always kind of worth it. It's what I always suggest to people every time this one pops up instead of wasting a reroll. So when those times come up, we have the Treasure Hunter Mole Miners around. Open up those Treasure Hunter Mole Miner pails, or even craft your own and open them. And even the festive gifts that will give you vintage Nukashine most of the time. Okay, and you can just kind of stash a couple of them away in your stash box, or just kind of have them on you. And that way they just gotta get it done quick and easy. Another thing you can do is you can try other players' vendors. A lot of players who do this, like myself, will actually sell vintage Nukashine, sell vintage Mire Moonshine in their vending machines. So you can always try other players' vendors as well. Now I'm going to show you how you can do this on your own. And all you need is a fermenter, okay? So we're going to go find ourselves some Mire Moonshine, just the plain old stuff. And the place to find that is right over here at Sunday Brothers Cabin, right? So let's pop over here. Now, you don't have to wait for that event, Moonshine Jamboree, to happen. You can just go over here and you can find several bottles on your own. All right, so there will be a couple ghouls we have to take care of here, but that's fine. But what I like to do is it'll be right inside the main building. If you can make your way up on this candy cane roof here, it'd be great. And there'll be a couple of ghouls to take care of. Yep. Just work our way across these planks here. And there's going to be 2 Mire Moonshine right across from us in this room. Now, if you ever come here and you're on a public server and you can't find Mire Moonshine, that means somebody else already took it. But these are 100% guaranteed spawns, right? And all you need is one, right? So let's grab one here, like that. There's one right down there you can take, right out of that little bear's mouth there on the main floor. There's going to be a couple more right on the roof of this building. You don't need a jetpack or anything to get up here. You just walk up this ramp right here like this. And there's old Petey right there. You're just looking for Petey. And right here, there's 2 more right here. So it's a pretty good spot for Mire Moonshine just by itself. All right, so now that we have our Mire Moonshine, we're going to head back to our camp here. This is a nice, quiet spot when the Moonshine Jamboree is not going on. It can get pretty rowdy over here for sure. Alright, so now once we finally get back in our camp here, again, we will need a fermenter for this. Run right up here. our secret door. Real secret lab door. So again, if you don't have a fermenter or a brewing station, you can gain these 2 plans by completing the side quest called Wasted on Nugashine. Now, of course, I do have that quest I did just last year here on the channel, and it is a little bit of a glitchy quest. But so if you have any issues, you can check out that video I made. It's all timestamped. But essentially, you come up here to Morgantown. Now behind Big House Tattoo Parlor is the back door, and there'll be a poster right on the wall. You interact with that poster, and it'll start the quest Wasted on Nugashine. At the very end of that quest, you will automatically learn the plan for the fermenter and the brewing station. What I mean by that is most plans we get here in the game, you have to go under your Pip-Boy and then select them to learn them. But in this case, the actual brewing station and fermenter, you automatically learn. All right, so just an FYI there. So let's go to our fermenter here. And as you can see on the right hand side, that's our fermenter. We have 10 slots, 9 right now available to me. Let's go over to the left hand side under my food and drinks, what I have in my little grocery bag here. So there's our Mire Magic Moonshine. As you can notice, it has a condition bar on it. And what we're going to do is we're going to assign this Mire Magic Moonshine to the right side, which is the fermenter. So let's go ahead and do that. You're going to see it flop over. All right, there you go. So there's our Mire Magic Moonshine now in our fermenter. And in real life gameplay, I believe it's about 20 minutes to 30 minutes, that condition bar will slowly decrease, and it will all of a sudden become like this. It'll become vintage Mire Magic Moonshine, where it's a black bar with a line through it, but it takes about 20 minutes to a half an hour of real life gameplay time. So you can either go around, do other daily challenges, or kind of fool around. If you leave the game, nothing will happen, all right? So you actually have to stay in the game for this to actually kind of go down and do its thing, all right? So just an FYI, you can go AFK or whatever you want to do there. All right, so just an FYI, it will take a little bit of time. That's why we're doing it first. All right, so we'll just kind of wait for that to, we'll kind of keep checking on it, all right? And then we'll drink it. All right, let's take a look here, Jim. Let's see what is next. Scrap junk to produce springs 5. Okay, good stuff. So let's check our bulk and scrap method at our Tinker's Workbench. Let's go ahead and go craft here. Go down to bulk, go down to the S section. And as you can see, we can bulk springs. All we need is 10 loose springs and 2 plastic from our stash of scrap box. We can go ahead and we can bulk our 1 spring and then scrap it. Is hands down the fastest, quickest, easiest way to complete this daily challenge. I know it's the lazy way, but it's more so for the folks that are kind of short on time, or just like to get things done quick and easy. The bulk and scrap method is useful for most junk items here in the game, but some junk items we can't use the bulk and scrap method. But like for us with the springs, we can. Now, a good source of springs here in the game is battered clipboards. A real good spot for battered clipboards is right over here at the Sugar Grove. If you go all the way to the end of Sugar Grove, there's a 50% chance you'll come across a Saltron. The other 50% chance is a Colonel Gutsy. Hopefully you get the Colonel Gutsy. But again, it is a great spot for packs and cartons of cigarettes. But there's also a shelf there full of battered clipboards and pencils. It's a really good spot. That's a little bit more of a challenge area. A real nice, easy spot for you guys is right here at Camp McClintock. It is a really fantastic spot, nice and neutral. And even down here at the Charleston Capitol building, I believe typewriters have springs in them as well. And you can always check the Charleston Capitol with the level 50 D&B building. We're going to go to Camp McClintock here, so let's pop over here. All right, let's pop up here now. A little bit dark in here. Let's turn our light on here. So how many springs do we need here, Jimmy boy? Let's see. 5. So we need 5 clipboards at least anyway. Let's grab, there's a whole whack of them here. Let's grab this battered clipboard. We go under item here. There we go, 1 spring. So we're going to need at least 5 of these bad boys. 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll pick 1 more up just because. But as you can see, there's a whole bunch of springs right here. There's a bunch of them right over here we can pick up. There's a bunch over here in the desk we can pick up as well. So this is a great spot for springs. Fantastic spot. And again, nice neutral area as well. Let's go ahead and scrap these battered clipboards up here. Here we go. Scrap junk to produce springs 5 for 5. And again, If you don't have the time to go around and look for this stuff, the bulk and scrap method is for you. All right, let's see what's next here. All right, we're going to head back to our camp here real quick, and we'll set us up for the next one. All right. So a little bodyguard there. Huh. All right. Scrap trying to produce Antiseptic 5. So unfortunately, Antiseptic is a junk item that we cannot use the bulk and scrap method at the Tinker's Workbench. So let's go ahead and show you that real quick. Let's go ahead and go craft at the Tinker's Workbench. If we go bulk, you can see Antiseptic is not here. So unfortunately, Antiseptic is one of those things we cannot use the bulk and scrap method. Now we can find this Antiseptic in a couple of ways here in the game. The industrial solvent or the regular solvent boxes we can find in around bathrooms. Right here, that if you come here to the north entrance in White Springs, right when you spawn in on the outside, there'll be a red brick building, like a little laundromat for employees only. There's a room in there, and there's about 4 boxes of industrial solvent there, and as well as one of the locker rooms has just the regular boxes of insolvent there as well. So it is a really, really good spot. Even up here at the Red Rocket Mega Stop, and there's like 2 large bathrooms there. There's a couple boxes of industrial and the regular style of solvent just kind of lingering around those bathrooms. You can try those out as well. Not all bathrooms will have that solvent around, but you can always kind of travel around the wasteland if you're kind of doing that anyway, and look for them that way as well. Now, tick blood. Tick blood is another great way for Antiseptic. If you come here to Dolly Sod's Wilderness and you make your way to this campground, here's a little workshop. In between this area, there's about 3 or 4 ticks, okay? And after killing them, they'll have that tick blood. It's a really good spot. And even over here, believe it or not, if you can catch them before the Moonshiners do, at the Moonshiner Shack just south of Vault 76, there's usually about 2 or 3 ticks in around here as well. And up here at Airhold Homestead, more so to the west of that field, there's usually about 2 or 3 ticks over there as well. Just to kind of give you a couple of spots there. So let's go down here to White Springs. We're going to go to the north entrance here on the outside. Exterior. Alright, so we're going to look a little bit to the north here. And here is the red brick building, the little laundry mat here. Now we just head right inside. Let's check here, I believe. Nope, this one here. Alright, so there is a regular box of a Braxo cleaner right there. I call it solvent, I guess. Then they have these industrial grades, so let's go ahead and grab one of those. And as we can see, look at that, 3 Antiseptic. Even has fiberglass and acid in them as well. Right? 3, 6, and that's all we really need. So I just think we just need 5 of them here. Yeah, that's all that we need. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and scrap this up here. I believe this has a bench in it. There we go. Let's go ahead and scrap. There you go. Scrap trying to produce Antiseptic. 5 for 5 done, just like that. Even the odd Ghoul will have like the regular box on them once in a while, and sometimes the industrial one. Not all the time, but I have found Ghouls will carry those on them as well. All right, let's take a look here at the next one. Kill a mole rat 5. Again, sometimes we can find them in around mole miners 10 if we so wish, but again, there are some spots that we can kind of find them separately, so that's what we're going to kind of do here today. So kill a mole rat 5. I do have a video here on the channel I made just last year. It is all time-stamped. I show you some great spots for some mole rats. Right here at the Green Country Lodge, there'll be 3 of them here. Come down here to Welsh. You can actually start here at Welsh Station. And again, when you work your way down to the train tracks, there are 2 of them down there. And then you walk right down the hill, there'll be some ultracite crystals. Now the mole rats you'll find there are called ultramite. They will count as mole rats. And then work your way back up towards Welsh, and there'll be 2 more up here. So that is a really good spot right down here. As well, it's also a good spot for mole miners. Now, if you're lucky, if you get on a right server, these Hornwright testing sites, one of these little buildings here, there'll be a little event called Breach and Clear. Again, there's full of mole miners there, but there's also a great spot for maybe about half a dozen of mole rats there as well. Right down here, Skyline Valley region, there you can find mole rats just kind of wandering around a little bit. But there is a tunnel in between the Shenandoah Visitor Center and the ranger station. I think there's usually about 2 or 3 down that little tunnel. Right up here in good old Monadga, again, full of mole miners, but we can find at least half a dozen mole rats up there as well. Again, they're a little bit more spread about there, so you can always kind of check there. And last but not least, we have this spot right here, Riverside Manor. It's probably one of the best spots for mole rats. All right, so let's go to Riverside Manor here today. And again, if you're kind of short on time, you can kind of incorporate those mole rats and mole miners at the same time if you so wish. You can also do that as well. And we'll get to the mole miners here soon enough. So as you get to the Riverside Manor right there, the whole front section will be, and inside will be full of scorched, okay? But when you turn around here, there'll be some mole rats up here as well. That frag mine there. And there should be 3 of them here in total. I think we may have gotten them. Nope. Right there. He's not coming out to play. He kind of... He ran for the hills. What do you guys think? I don't know where that guy went. There he goes. Nice. So 3 of them right here usually. Alright, so again, when you go to the manor, the whole front entrance outside will have scorched, okay? But we're going to go right to the side here, the side of the building. And there should be 2 or 3 in around this area here. You know, just like that. If you head out back, there'll be another 2 or 3. And on the other side of the building will be another 2 or 3 as well. I would recommend, though, that you be careful of that porch right there. There is a Tesla trap. And just be aware of that if you try to venture a little too close and you've never been here before. All right. They're just coming to us here now. Right on. Yeah, great spot for mole rats, as you can see. Probably one of the best spots here in the game. All right, let's take a look at the next one here. Kill a mole miner 10. All right, good stuff. So again, as I mentioned, you can kind of incorporate the mole rats and the mole miners at the same time if you wish. It all really depends on how much time you have. But a real good spot's down here in Welsh. Right up here at the Blackwater mine, inside and outside. It is a really good spot for mole miners here. Like tons of them. Again, up here in Monadga, we can find anywhere from 12 to 19 on a good day. And maybe about 2 or 3 up here in Monadga mine, just to name a couple of places for mole miners, all right? Let's go to Blackwater mine. It's been a little while since we've been there. It's pretty close to our camp. That's an old picture right there. Very old. Now this is going to be a little bit higher level area, so just be aware of that. And it's not letting me load my gun for some reason. There we go. Oh. We passed him. Passed our first victim. There we go. Grab some caps here at the same time. Nice to play the game in the sunlight. Been playing in the dark for so long. He's hiding behind the wall here. Love that chain effect. Yeah, I just love that chain effect with this weapon. It's so satisfying to watch. And always remember, guys, I always kind of go through, or at least I try to anyway, I always go through the weapons that I'm using at the end of each video, just in case you guys are kind of interested in seeing what I'm using. Yeah, we'll grab that, sure. Alright, so that's pretty much outside. Let's go inside here. We don't have to go all that far inside the mine. Now, the mine can be a little bit of a sticky situation, and you're kind of close proximity to them. And not a whole lot of room to jump around and move around, alright? So just be very careful when you're down here if you've never been down here before. Rabid wolf in here for some reason. Oh yeah. Jimmy hit the reload button there. See how they kind of like twitch a little bit there? It's pretty awesome, I love it. Alright, so I have to kind of start off down here. There'll be a couple that'll be popping up here. Or maybe not. Jesus, this guy just pops up right there. That's weird. Oh, yeah. Yeah, there he is right there. See, he's tricking me. Last time I was here, I totally obliterated them, and he remembered. He said, you know what, if I just wait a little bit longer... If I just wait a little bit longer, I can get the jump on old Jim there. What do you guys think? Yeah, he doesn't usually wait that long, that guy. We're in danger, so let's... we're all done with that, so let's get out of here. Because right on top of that platform, there'll be like 10 or 12 of them. Yeah, just kind of watch yourself. Alright, so let's take a look here and see what we got next. Let's go ahead. We're going to head back to our camp here real quick. And while we're here, we're going to check on that Mire Magic Moonshine. Just to kind of show you, because we're about a little bit past midway here in the episode. Let's check our fermenter. Alright, so there we go. So there's the Mire Magic Moonshine we put in here. And as you can see, we're below, I would say we're about maybe 45% there. So eventually you can see that condition bar decreasing, and eventually it will turn into this. So we'll let it go a little bit longer here. Alright, let's take a look at the next one. Consume any chems too. Alright, good stuff. So we've had this one a lot lately. And again, as I kind of mentioned, a little bit of a spiel here. So basically, excuse me. So basically, if you're a ghoul, you are carrying usually a lot of more chems than you used to. Okay, I know myself, I carry a lot more chems than I ever did before. Because before I would only usually carry maybe Rataway and stim packs, and that's it, right? Maybe berry mentats or grape mentats at the very most. But nowadays, as a ghoul, I just carry so much chems with me. Having chems on my person is not a problem. Okay, but I realize not everyone is a ghoul, so there's a couple ways you can get chems here in the game. I find there's a couple of great hot spots for chems. It's right here at Point Pleasant. Again, between the cultists and the chems that are just kind of laying around, you do have the opportunity, I guess, to gather about 30 chems in this area if you really try to look for them. Especially under the Mothman Museum, like in the basement, it is a real good spot there. Even here, the Gilman Lumber Mill, even it being a very small kind of area with those responders there, it is a great spot for chems. Right over here at the Morgantown Airport on the outside, like the runway and the outside entrance of the arrival area, there's a couple of tents there. It's a great spot for chems, actually. Believe it or not, really good spot for chems. Another thing you can do is you can try the medical dispenser. So every train station, every area where you can free fast travel, like down in White Springs, Crater, Foundation, etc., even down at Camden Park, you can go to one of those medical dispensers and buy chems if you don't have any on you, okay? You just got to use caps, obviously, but again, you can try that. You can also buy chems from other players' vendors, and I find a lot of people have been doing that. Especially the smooth skin players, quote unquote, they've been going around getting chems as much as they can, and selling them in their vendors to ghouls such as myself, and I've definitely have done that before. And so you can check other players' vendors as well. You can also craft your own chems if you have a chemistry workbench. Now, we get the chemistry workbench very early on in game by joining the responder. So when most people leave Vault 76, most people come down here to Flatwoods, and inside the tavern there'll be a couple of kiosks there. Interact with those kiosks will start two little quests for you, and at the very end of those quests, and you get, of course, you just stay here in Flatwoods, you'll learn the chemistry workbench plan. And even up here at Morgantown Station, there's a chemistry workbench right inside the station. And 8 times out of 10, there'll be a chemistry workbench plan right on the floor next to it, right? So that's also a possibility there for you as well. So you go to your chemistry station if you have one, excuse me. Go down here to healing. And as long as you have a full version of Rat X and Rat Away, you can create these diluted versions, or you can take those diluted versions if you so wish for that challenge. Okay? So lots of great ways to get chems here in the game. Now, if you are a new player, never played before, let's try to take a stim pack here. As you see there, top left figure, you're already full health. But if you're a new player, you might miss that little warning there, okay? So you might be taking stim packs for this daily weekly challenge, but it's not working. And that's what's going on. It's because you're full health. It's not that there's nothing wrong with your game, all right? So I'd like to kind of show that stuff just more so for the brand spanking new players, just in case you kind of missed that little warning in the top left-hand corner, all right? So let's go ahead. We're going to take some chems here, which of course I have tons of them on me here nowadays. Let's go ahead. As you can see, there we go, done. Too many chems, 2 for 2, done. We're going to take a couple more. There we go. Nice. All right, let's see what's next here, Jimmy boy. Eat a cake pie or candy 10. Okay, so we do have several camp resources available to us for eat a cake pie or candy. We can craft our own cake and our own pie here in the game. We can also find cake and pie here in the game and candy, all right? So let's go to a couple of great spots here. Now, I'm not too sure if it's going to be there or not, but Nuka World on Tour, which is also a free fast travel, you can travel here. So let's go here. And there should be a couple of pies here, carnival pies, but we just got them maybe last week, so I don't know if my game has reset by then, but we'll check. I'll show you where they're at anyway, and you can check the server that you're on, or you can server hop if you so wish. So once when you spawn in, we're actually going to run up the hill here. And you can come in from the Lewisburg side if you so wish. It's a little quicker. Yeah, so they're not here for me because I have them just today. So these carnival pie area, there'll be 3 of them right here. You can go ahead and eat those carnival pies. There's also a pie down here in Welsh, right in around like the middle section of town, inside the building. So that's a pretty good spot there as well. And right up here at the pumpkin house is a pretty decent spot for cake and pie. So let's pop up here to the pumpkin house. Alright, so we're going to go right on the front porch, and depending on the server that you're on, of course, but you check this little black cauldron. Look at that, we have cotton candy bites in there. Now, sometimes there's bubble gum in there, as well as something on the outside here as well, so you can always check that on your server. You go right inside here. Now, usually there's some eat cake, pie, or candy right in this plastic pumpkin. Again, there's some fancy lad snack cakes there, pretty good stuff. This is a spot for 2 pumpkin pies. There's usually 1 here in the table. Look at that, there's 1 right here. So let's go ahead and eat that bad boy. There we go, just to show you how it counts. There we go. And there's a pumpkin pie recipe. This is a spawn point for it here. So you can always get your own pumpkin pie and craft it and do it that way if you so wish. Pretty good spot.
It can't be called the pumpkin house without more pumpkin.
Another pretty decent spot is over here at Tyler County Fairgrounds. So let's pop over here. And I'm just showing you these locations just in case you don't have those camp resources. Like, it's easy for me just to kind of eat this stuff because I have a lot of it on me. But I still like to kind of go through the paces of where you guys can find it as well. Alright, so let's get rid of this guy. Of course, I only have one there. It's not loaded. Now, there's usually pre-war food in this area. There might be the odd fancy lad snack cake in here, but not very often. All right, so it'll be right inside this building with the ice cooler here. There's usually about 3 fancy lad snack cakes. So there's one, there's a second one here, and usually there's another one around, but yeah, so there's just 2 here today, but we can find sometimes 3 of them here. The other spot is just around the corner here. This little area with all these chairs here. You can always check this area here. Now, I usually find drinks or pre-war food here. That's all there is here today, but that's fine. Oh my lord, come on, jetpack. The jetpack is not working for Jim today, boys, I'm telling you. Holy mackerel. Shut this light off. Alright, so let's head back to our camp here real quick. So just want to show you a couple areas. And again, it depends on the server that you're on. Sometimes this stuff just doesn't spawn in. And for those pies, you know, if you have grabbed it recently, you'll have to reset your game by picking up 250, 255 items, alright? So... okay, good stuff. We made her. Sometimes when you fight back, that countdown kind of disappears. I'm glad it didn't. So now let's show you these camp resources that we have available to us, just to show you that. Again, we're back in the dark. Oh my lord, don't freeze on me, game. Woo! Alright, so we do have these popcorn machines here in the game. Now we have 3 different versions. We have the OG red version. We have this yellow Hollywood popcorn version. We have a Nuka-Cola version we got maybe a couple months ago. But they all do the same thing. They collect 12 popcorn, and popcorn counts as eat a cake, pie, or candy, okay? So popcorn is very good, as well as pre-war food, right? So popcorn is a very versatile thing in the game, well worth to have. We also have these candy machines we got back in Season 11 scoreboard, so if you're a returning player, you may have these available to you as camp resources under your resource tab in your build menu. And again, they collect candy, and again, it's really good camp resource to have. Now, the red one is in the Nuka-Cola Atomic Shop rotation. I'm looking at Nuka-Cola and I'm reading it. It's in the Atomic Shop rotation, so we will find this maybe once or twice a year, but it's usually in a bundle with other things, all right? So just an FYI there. So let's go ahead here, just to give you a couple examples here. Let's go to the food and drink. Let's try the popcorn. This is something that I see around in a lot of players' camps. So of all those camp resources, popcorn machine is probably something that a lot of people will have. So let's go ahead and show you how that counts. There we go. Let's eat a quantum candy from the blue-purple candy machine. Let's eat a candy, just a regular Nuka-Cola candy from the red candy machine if you have one of those bad boys. Nice. Nice. Let's talk about Perk Bubblegum for a second. So Perk Bubblegum we get for free in the game. So every time you open up a Perk card pack, you get Perk Bubblegum of different flavors. So sometimes there's just regular Perk Bubblegum, sometimes strawberry, watermelon, grape, okay? And again, I know someone had mentioned several months ago that they usually either drop it or they sell it. But the Perk Bubblegum, as you can see, doesn't weigh anything, right? So you might as well just keep it on you. Especially when you get higher level, you get less and less Perk card packs. So I recommend just hanging on to it. And you can eat your Perk Bubblegum, because the Perk Bubblegum also counts as chew bubblegum and also counts as pre-war food. So Perk Bubblegum that we get for free, you might as well just keep on you. And that's just a suggestion. So let's take one of these Perk Bubblegum just to show you. Nice. Nice. Fancy lad snack cakes. And actually, we do have one more camp resource. I just kind of thought of that for a second. This cookie jar, but it has a mud cookie in there today. But it also will collect fancy lad snack cakes and funnel cake. Also, so if you have this cookie jar, again, it'll collect those little cakes there for you as well. All right, so let's finish this off here. We're going to finish it off with some popcorn. Here we go. Eat a cake, pie, or candy done just like that, guys. It's that easy. Let's check this fermenter here. All right, so he is almost done there now, so that's pretty good. So he just has a tiny little sliver. You guys probably can't even see it, but it's just like a hair there. So we'll just wait for a second and wait for that to pop up here. just going to take like another minute here. Just so you can kind of see it in action. I just looked down at my mic and my mic was red. I don't know if the volume was down for long, but it's interesting. All right, so there you go. So you see that pop up there, Vintage Mire Moonshine. So it just turned to the black box, or it turned vintage right in front of our eyes, just like that. All right, so let's go ahead and we will finish this one here off. If I can hit the right button here, Jim. Consume a vintage alcoholic beverage 1. Go to our little area here, go all the way to the bottom. Let's drink our vintage Mire Moonshine. There we go. Let's consume a vintage alcoholic beverage 1. Done, just like that. Nice. And we are done here now. Perfect. Now let's take a look at weapon of the day here, Jim. I hope that mic wasn't off for too long. I was just kind of looking down thinking, did I hit that by accident? I'm not sure. Anti-armor presidential tactical Tesla rifle. Plus 50% armor penetration. Plus 50% chance to hit a target in VATS. Minus 25% action point cost. Jeepers. Anti-armor VATS enhanced. VATS optimized. A semi-automatic barrel. Reflex sight and presidential paint. 129 electrical damage. And single fire. It's a very good weapon. If you never used a Tesla rifle before, I highly recommend it, and you owe it to yourself to at least try it, at least once, see how you like it there. But again, it is a fantastic weapon. It's so fun to use, especially watching that little lightning chain effect go on with the enemies if they're close to each other. Pretty cool. And it's just a regular old rifleman build here with that. Perception, we have rifleman, expert rifleman, master rifleman, all maxed out. We have good old tank killer here. Concentrated fire, arms of steel, arms keeper, bandolier, fireproof, suppressor, tenderizer, covert operative, evasive, white knight, adrenaline. These are random luck cards which randomly pop in when they're being activated. Legendary Perk cards, these don't change for me, they stay the same. As you can see, they're all maxed out, and I'm very, very happy with them. Yeah, so there you guys go. Again, if that audio was off for some reason, I apologize for that. I just kind of looked down real quick and I can't remember if I touched the mic or not, but sometimes if you touch the mic, I find not at the spot where you're supposed to touch it, it'll turn red, which means it's off. But hopefully that didn't happen there. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please like, subscribe, and share me to the chance. It really helps me out. I'd like to thank my channel members, Artistically Arranged, Michael Edwards, Nigel Wiffen, Heather, Whitetribe, Mr. Shelton, Drake Stamps, NotMeButMeYesMe, that's me, Drew, Andrew, Demon, Confoundedbridge, Ben Durant, John, DJ59, Picquerist, Benny Bunny, Gren Trentno, Tony Watson. Thank you all so very much, and I hope you all have a nice day.